Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're old friends, fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. With me is Mr. Tim.
Hi.
Mr. Bill.
Hello.
And our Sublime expert, Mr. Ed.
And Piggly Wiggly Shopper.
Yeah, we totally didn't plan that, but we're both wearing Piggly Wiggly shirts.
Yeah.
You just gotta be there. So yeah, Sublime put out a new single. Ed told us to do it. We kind of ignored him. Then Bill mentioned it, so I guess we got to do it now.
You're the man, Bill. You're the man.
I try. I usually fall short, but I try.
Quick relationship with the band. I like this album, and 40 ounces is okay. But I'm not that big of a Sublime guy. But I'll go to bat for that album, that self-titled record. That's a good record.
Yeah, I'm not much. I'm probably not even that big of a fan. There's a couple things here and there throughout the discography where I'm like, yeah, it's okay. But for the most part, I'm not. I haven't been a fan.
So I'm gonna disagree with it. I think Sublime, as far as the sound and the music, is probably like a bedrock of a lot of music that came out of the 90s and the 2000s. A lot of bands follow their footsteps and created new sounds. I think I watched an interview with Gwen Stefani, because I think No Doubt and Sublime came up around the same time. And Gwen Stefani said that the first time they heard the tape that Bradley had given to him, Bradley Noel, the singer, they heard reggae, hip hop, and punk. And they've never heard anything like that before. So, and I think, like, if you listen to all the albums, they stuck to their roots. They brought in new sounds that have either people might have been tinkering with them, but the dub sound with punk rock, with ska, with reggae. I mean, other bands have. There was all that going around too, but I think Sublime made it its own, and I think a lot of it had to do with Bradley's voice and his talent. He had natural singing talent. That guy could sing with the best of them, in my opinion.
So what do you think of this new song?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sublime with me is a little different. This is obviously leaning more into the dub sound, like the dub sound of the Southern California kind of thing. I really like the 3-piece band sound. That was my favorite Sublime. Like when you have the punk songs, or when you hear the bass, the drums, and the guitar, and Bradley's vocals. That's my favorite. This, I think it leaned more into the dub, which is the most popular sound now, because you have like bands like
it was
the
very
Dirty Heads.
reggae.
Very much so, but it's got that modern kind of backbeat to it, and you had like Pepper and Dirty Heads, and they all do this kind of thing. Long Beach Double All Stars, they do it all the time too, and it's just that
Stick
sounds
figure.
more. Yeah, it's more appealing nowadays than guitar and drums and all that. And I mean, I like it, but I like the more organic sound of Sublime. His son is on this, Jacob Noel. He actually has a part singing in, which is kind of cool, because you kind of see where the torch is passed, kind of, I guess, because I also heard his dad was 28 when he passed, Bradley, and his son is now 28 and is picking it up with Bud.
I thought he was in Club 27.
No, he was 28, I think, when he died. He missed it. But anyways, they've picked it up, and I thought it was kind of cool how they had Jacob and his dad on the same track. So.
Well, they just played Coachella with his kid.
Yeah, he did okay. They had mixed reviews. He sounded nervous, but I mean, when you play in front of that many people, I'm not putting much weight on it. I think he did great, but some people were, kind of iffy about his performance.
I don't know. Me, I only got 2 notes. It's kind of boring for a Sublime song compared to what they did in the past. And I saw Wilson in an interview with Rolling Stone. They say timing is everything, and I think they were right. You know, they did the same thing that Blink-182 did, and No Doubt did. They played Coachella, then they announced some reunion show or some new album or new single, and it just kind of feels like a cash grab to me. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like good Sublime to me.
Well, there is a lot of that happening. I mean, a few years ago, I remember Red Hot Chili Peppers did the same thing, and then Blink did the same thing, like you said. It seems like there's a lot of nostalgia from that time nowadays, and all these bands are coming out again, with something. And this is not new, because this is Bradley, I believe, has like a rap section in the hook. So
They
I'm
pulled it from
pretty
like
sure
some old bootleg they had, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it sounds great, but Bradley so much could have. I mean, I don't know. His ability to perform and record would have been a lot more than this if he'd been alive, obviously.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but like that actually was like a recording of him singing. Like that wasn't an AI generated, right?
No AI on
Just
this thing.
because that's say soon it's gonna be the day and age where it's gonna be, oh yeah, here's the artist that died 30 years ago. Here's their voice on the song. That's like
It's coming.
it's coming. We all know it is, but
Yeah, I mean, Tupac's had how many albums come out? Elvis keeps having albums come out.
Still waiting on that new Nirvana record.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that was from material
There's a
they
new
recorded
Beatles
before they
song.
passed, though. Wasn't it?
What was that?
I said that was from material they had before they passed, though, like Tupac and Elvis, and I mean, you gotta understand, like
Well,
these.
sure,
Like,
no, and obviously this is too, but it
Mhm.
is like Jason said, it's all about the timing. And when an
Yeah.
artist that has significant market value passes away, then whoever controls that estate controls how it gets released.
mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they could be sitting on like 5 or 6 albums and then just, sprinkle it out. I mean, how many unreleased Prince albums are going to be coming out for the rest of our lives?
Yeah,
How many
yeah,
new
like,
David Bowie and Jimi Hendrix albums come out every year?
yeah. But as long as there's customers for it, and I think Sublime is one of those bands that is I think they're like a cornerstone of, for real, like even though they don't have that much of a discography, but I think at least they didn't well before he passed. But like, I think they're just, I mean, you hear them and it's timeless. Their music, you hear them nowadays at kids' parties nowadays, and it's not any. It's I think it's one of those timeless bands that people just recognize.
I'll give them that. They are one of the best college party bands out there and have been since their inception.
And they definitely created that genre.
So is that like the new metal genre, or what genre would that be?
Ska punk. I think ska punk.
Yeah,
and
like,
I'm gonna disagree a little bit.
Boy reggae music.
Okay.
I think that's mistaken. I don't think Sublime is one of the, to me, Sublime is one of those bands that has, like, okay, you have Bob Marley. He's not just your reggae artist. He transcended that. You have bands like Pearl Jam. They're not just your grunge band. They transcended that, right? Sublime, I think they did have a beginning as this party, no funky reggae party, $5 at the door, kind of thing. But if you listen to the songs on the self-titled album, man, I don't think they stay in that realm. I mean, they do have the catchy, radio tunes in there, but I mean, some of those songs are timeless. I mean, I think they're one of those bands that transcend just being a party band. Now I think there's a lot of bands riding their coattails, for sure, especially for the sound and the style.
Who is this stick figure? Because his name is almost as big as Sublime.
Yeah, listen, that was my question too.
I looked him up on Spotify, and he's got so many followers, so many albums. He's been around for a while. I checked out.
He's a leading figure
here
in
and
this,
there, and it was like
in this college reggae.
It just sounds like
suburban
Sublime.
reggae.
Like it's just a Sublime ripoff. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I said. The coattail riding is, and like, I mean, I'm not. they have skill. I'm sure they work hard and all that stuff. I'm saying the part of the sound goes, you can
And
tell the
Ed mentioned a bunch
similarities.
of them earlier, like the Dirty Heads, the Expendables,
Yeah.
Slightly
Exactly.
Stupid.
Mhm.
There's like a whole genre built around these bands, and they all sound like Sublime.
Yeah.
And so this
Exactly.
makes
And
sense. This doesn't sound any different to me. This sounds like a Stick Figure song, but it also sounds like a Sublime song because, I mean, not to derail us or anything, but my question would be, if you don't change musically throughout the song, do you have a song or do you have a beat? And
yeah.
now I know that that's like maybe a generational question because I know that some people consider a beat a song.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying. Like, this is a dub style album. That's the dub sound. That's what that is. It's like a hip hop kind of DJ kind
Well,
of kind of
sure,
loop, you know?
sure, you know, I mean, I definitely prefer original dub music compared to this 21st century dub music.
That was my problem
Um,
with the song. It was the same beat almost the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
There was no dynamic change
Like
up at all.
this album, there's songs on here that have dynamic changes. I mean, it can go from
Oh, yeah.
punk to ska to in
and
one
then to
song.
slap your deceased singer's name on this almost 30 years later.
Right after Coachella.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel like a lazy cash grab.
Yeah, but the thing also to kind of keep in mind here that a lot of us don't really pay attention to is that, you know, when you make a track, especially a band this big, you want it to reach out. So if you wanted to play in the hip hop clubs or the radio or this station, it needs to hit every demographic. So by making it sound the hip hop with the DJ, with the rock, with Bradley, with the reggae now, so you can kind of that's one good thing about the song. I can really hear the song in different stations, you know, because it has so many different kind of styles mixed in there. It did kind of bother me to see this Sublime track featuring Bradley Noel though. That's not,
Well,
you
that's
know,
what we're saying.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't look right. I mean, like Bradley is. So I'm sorry, you know, to the other guys, but
And
Bradley is
actually,
Sublime.
it's not even being released as a Sublime thing. Every official release of this I have come across so far is under Stick Figure's name.
So that's on YouTube. It was under Stick Figure, which I noticed that after my first listen through of this song. So is it Stick Figure utilizing Sublime then?
And then,
I mean, I'm
but
sure it's a
featuring
partnership.
Bradley Noel.
Mm-hmm.
And you said well, I don't know the son's name, Jacob Noel. He's on there too. Like, yeah, it's.
Hey,
let me ask
can
you
we all
this.
agree though? Can we all agree on one thing that's super dope? One, you got Lou Dog on the cover, and rest in peace, Lou Dog, because
Well, that's what I was going to ask is who was the other dog?
That's supposed to be the other guy's dog. What was his name on
Stick
this album
Figure?
too? Yeah, Stick Figure's dog. Yeah, I don't know much about him, but I know that's Lou, and Lou Dog's the man or the dog.
Smell like Lou Dog inside the van.
Oh yeah.
But even Stick Figure's dog's in front of Lou Dog. That's messed up.
So is this rather than a Sublime song? Is this actually a Stick Figure song then?
Well,
It
I
has
think that's
that
the question.
sound. Yeah, it has that sound, and I think he's worked with the Dirty Heads too, so you should be able to see kind of similarities here. And I mean, you gotta admit though, like, I mean, it's not appealing to me either, the looping, but I mean, that is the sound that you hear in clubs and people bumping in their cars nowadays, and I'm sure they were trying to appeal to that.
So was this ultimately just like sound like in theory this? I feel like all four of us could agree this was like arguably one of the safest songs we've heard released recently from the standpoint safe. It should make money just with the names on it, and with when it got timed and released, as well as it can get played anywhere then.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a smart market move. I hope that, man, I really, my favorite Sublime sound is songs like Seed. It's just straight punk rock. Bradley had such a good like idea of punk. He loved punk music, you know. And I think that'd be cool if they could release something like that. I think that was my favorite
Well,
Sublime sound.
Would it be Stick Figure releasing it, or would it be Sublime releasing it though?
That's what I'm
and will
saying.
it
Like,
feature Bradley?
no, they need to stop that. I don't know who thought of that. You can't have Sublime without Bradley. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's why I mean, whenever Sublime went with Rome, I'd stop listening because I wasn't appealed to that. That wasn't what I was liking at the moment. But I don't understand why Bradley's name is away from Sublime. That's kind of weird.
Well, because you can't just say Sublime, because Sublime in 2024 could mean Sublime with Rome, could mean Sublime with his kid. They have to make sure that people know to hit those 40-year-olds that Bradley Noel is on this track. Hit that nostalgia button, get them to check it out. Plus, you got it sounding like you said to play in all the clubs. Get the kid. It's a universal safe song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was a smart move. But I hope they come out with maybe like his kid, Jacob, and then we'll
I'm
work
sure
on
they
like
will.
a
He seems
funk
to be
song.
pretty, like he's gonna step in the role, and they'll probably release a new Sublime record with him. This is like the warm-up phase.
I'll probably still have a feature of Bradley Noel on it.
That is, and just between us and whoever's watching this, that is like one of my biggest things here. Like I've noticed too, he gets asked about his dad every interview that he gives, and I understand like it's a big shadow, like big shoes
Francis
to
gets
fill.
asked about Kurt in the interview she does.
Yeah, exactly. So, but as an artist though, that has to. I don't know. After a while, it's gonna get old.
I don't know. I mean, they still asked Liza Minnelli about Judy Garland.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying, if it was me, like it would be like, all right, guys, like I get it, but ask me about my art.
And now what's her name? Riley Keough is getting all the Elvis questions.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys? Yeah. There's all these generational artists. Michael Jackson's nephew. Sounds just like Michael, man. It's crazy. Like he's so good. So yeah, you got these generational artists that their kids or relatives are starting to answer questions about him. So,
Well, does anybody else have anything to add about Sublime with Stick Figure with Bradley Noel? Feel like that?
Bradley's rhymes were dope. Big shout out to his to Bud and Eric, man, the drum and the bass, because even if you watch them live, they're the reason why Bradley could go off the rails and do crazy stuff. They held that beat for him. I keep saying Bradley was Sublime, but Eric and Bud, man, they help in the creative realm too by doing their job. It's a good album, but I hope they come up with something better.
A good song.
Good single, yeah.
Tim, Bill.
No, I think we basically had everything I was thinking about. It's just
I'll
a really
whip my hair back and forth. I'll whip my hair back and forth.
Me, it was just a boring Sublime song. It wasn't even that great of a Sublime song. But
I could say that this would not make my top 10 Sublime songs whatsoever. It might
it wouldn't make a top 10 list.
It might make my top 10 Stick Figure. I don't know.
So do you guys like this more than you like the new Beatles song?
No. No.
How about the Rolling Stones? They put out an album last year.
No, I was listening to Hackney Diamonds the other day. That's a good record.
I've listened to this quite a few times. I like to hear Bradley's voice. It's good to hear his voice. But I'm a fan, so.
All right, well, stick around. I think if I time this properly, Alice in Chains will be coming out tomorrow. Or it came out yesterday and tomorrow. We might be in the middle of Alice in Chains. Just depends on how quickly I can act. Be safe. Oh, thank you, Ed, for joining us again. You need to join us more often. He'll be back for the Chili Peppers, which will be our summertime show extravaganza.
Summertime and the living's easy. Sorry.
If you want to sign up for that and be on the show and talk Chili Peppers, leave a comment down below. You can be on the show.
You're not allowed to defend One Hot Minute, though. That is not being allowed. Okay? So, Joe, if you're hearing this, I'm calling for you, dog.
No, we want all stripes.
All
Hit us down
stripes.
below. Love them, hate them, indifferent, never heard of them. Hit us up.
Yeah,
We
even
want
if
you
you
on the
just-
show.
You ain't got to listen to them all. Just come voice your opinions on them. All about authenticity here at ODD. Be safe. Make good decisions.
All it